why the party
to protect people
from their flag bearer in the 2024 elections to now has caused the problems that we are having.
How?
You know, in Ghana, the elections are run concurrently on the same day. Presidential and parliamentary elections. And the power to declare results has always been vested in the Electoral Commission. Then we know that the Electoral Commission has between 24 hours and 48 hours to declare
72 hours.
72 hours to declare the results. Now, Bawumia, what did he do?
He conceded.
Long before the Electoral Commission.
But that's he said he did it to diffuse the
tension
that was
he did it to render whatever activity that was happening at the collation centers moot.
How? Tension was building up. People were sitting.
No, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you why that created this confusion. Because they were collating both the presidential and parliamentary elections at the same time. And Bawumia declared or conceded defeat long before the Electoral Commission. Nobody was interested in the process again. Because what was the purpose?
So we are not blaming him for an action he took to hold the country together.
He didn't hold the country together. He created this confusion.
The tensions were building.
No tension was building. People were simply waiting for the results. So when he did that, people were still at the Blakuma collating presidential results and still holding parliamentary pinches. They had done the same party agents do them. Didn't see the need because their party had lost. That's why we recorded that high number of unfinished coalitions in this. Have you ever heard that we've recorded this number of unfinished coalitions in Ghana? Because of his action. Simply because, look, go back and unpack. You will see the danger of that declaration, that concession.
Because from, I was here, we were discussing the elections, and we heard that Dr. Bawumia wanted to, he was about to speak.
Yes.
So, tension was building up.
What tension? What tension?
As it is in all elections.
No, there was no tension.
Tension was building.
So you
people were watching
are you suggesting to NDC that, and to my brother Haruna, that they didn't have an idea of how the election was going?
Yes, but these are to the two parties.
No,
the larger
two parties organized their followers. So we had communicated to our followers that we were winning already. And they had communicated to their followers
they were winning.
That they were losing.
No, few hours before that morning, Miracles Abuaji was on national TV.
It was cycle.
No, but that's what we knew. That's on national TV.
That's what on national TV. You're just psyching out the people.
Yes, psyching them up for what? If they had lost, they would have told the guys, we've lost, let's go to sleep. But they believed they were winning.
No, he was psyching up the people. He knew that they had lost. The records, the outturn, the performance has spoken to them already. And Miraculous Abuaji knew that perfectly, that they had lost. He knew that.
I see.
And I know that he knew that they had lost. Okay, so yes, but the defeat was so catastrophic and disastrous that Bawumia had to do something to salvage an image.
By conceding quickly.
To put himself forward as a statesman. The unintended consequences of that early concession is what we are seeing today in Blakuma.
Wow.
It's what we saw in Tema. It's what we saw in Nakutia. It's what we saw in Domiko Abinya. It's what we saw in Okankwe Central.
And Techiman.
Because they were still in the process of collating the results. And the results, the presidential and parliamentary results, are collated at the same time. So when you concede that early, it renders the process moot.
War studio, sometimes you need to be guided. But me say it in Sana Mekan. Na wo de ba ko se me ayesi me wudada. Enti ma me kan na me kan ye. First of all, Mfkofo bebre beka say, oh, we did well by conceding early. But Obisamia, that was the number one problem we faced with these elections.
Said Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia ban tembeji too.
Na me over the period, my monitor elections. And I may say, normally, members of parliament or more elections are announce your more results now on him. They are more no money, they are happy. and they forget about the presidential. And so you know what happens. Now presidential, no, now ya ebe anipa no win ko na ya wi ano. Ana enya sa. Nti me say, me ma me specific example, and then maybe you can match it along. In Wage Agbawi, the agreement was that me my presidential first, and sana ya
parliamentary no.
Then because me say me ko me parliamentary there me ni beji na me refi say me
interest.
Nti yes sir. Yeah, presidential and we came into the next day into the parliamentary. That was when the flag bearer had conceded. Onim DSC, NDC4 became very emboldened. Police force rose mobile transfers. Many occasions say a transfer because they were even able to show say they were more neutral and professional. I had to stay on my feet for close to 76 hours.
Because of our attention, me
nipa na me no go declare no. Or declare no the powder go no so now go for more than 3,000 in it. At that point, in go for no mo go to Obama no be no mo in it. Why? Because we had conceded, and that concession gave us a lot of problems. Because police for anka ombejina ha ma wo no. Almost to say or ensure say there is proper enforcement of law. Yebe pamono, and I yebe transfer. Missy many baby I transfer. Opa, almost all the regions. People who were seen to be more professionals, they have been transferred. After when you do that, in Kofono or more winning, they are able to gather themselves and then plan better. And that was what happened. And to me, the region, NDC regional, they were able to manage and bring a lot of people from the regional party to come and cause problems. But paying the pain, and yeah, easy. As at the time we considered, the EC had not even published one electoral year. Do you know what that means? It means that we're actually too fast in conceding.
How often? You see, we've had NPP has been contesting the parliamentary seat, that seat, since 1996. Not once have they lost that. Not once has that seat even been close. Not once. So it's not about it happened. It's never happened. It's never NPP has never been in a situation where where this seat has even been close. As in, now to talk about they even losing the seat. You understand? So we need to interrogate what is happening to the NPP. That is making them so unattractive to the people of this country. And so for me to come and make the kind of communication my former Deputy General Secretary is making, that NEC took a decision. And
but I hear Evans Limaku, who is Director of Election, was also present at the rerun. Can you confirm that?
No, he was not there.
Because I'm reliably hearing that he was there.
No, he was not there.
All right, that's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, so clearly they took a decision that did not sit well with the rank and file of the party. They took a decision that did not sit well with the leadership of the party, or they have leaders who do not have courage of conviction, who do not believe in the decision they take. How can I take a decision? You understand? A decision and you understand, and tell my party people that listen, we are not contesting. And then I'm seeing they either I am unprincipled or I don't have what's called any courage of conviction. And we don't want people who do not have courage of their convictions to lead this country. We don't have, where we are as a country, we don't want to put all these powers into the hands of a person, of people who do not have any courage of conviction. Because right now, over the past 8 years and with how things are happening, you recall that we raised issues when Nanado appointed people who were perceived to be NPP supporters onto the EC. What did NPP as a political party say about that? Because NPP as a political party is not the same as the bearer of executive power. You understand? What did NPP as a political party say about that? Or because that decision, the further decision, inured to their benefit, they didn't say anything wrong. We saw so many electoral infractions pre and during elections. A lot. I remember all the issues that were raised leading up to all those by elections and the last year's election itself, what was the position of the New Patriotic Party? Is it that their position will flip depending on how they perceive that decision to inure to their benefit? Is that what drives them? Because you have a situation where the NDC were complaining about 37 polling results. They were complaining about 3. They went to a meeting and the EC came with a decision. On what basis can they say that because of the decision the EC make, they are not going to contest, or they were not going to contest the election?
So that has happened. The fact that the lady defied it is contrary to their party.
Not just the lady.
Yeah, but the lady
Not
wanted
just
to go ahead.
not just the lady.
Because of the upcoming contest in the party and contest of popularity, etc., people have to go to show face. Will you say that by defying the party order, she has to be punished?
She didn't defy the party's orders.
No, the party said don't go, don't do it.
So
we are boycotting it.
Could the EC have placed the party's flag without the party's consent? Did the party not present polling? And that's why I asked the question. Did she go as an independent candidate?
No, the party says don't go, and then she says she will go. At that moment, there was nothing much anybody could do.
No. Well, he's better vexed with the electoral process. Could the EC have placed the party's flag by her without the party's consent?
Yeah, because the party, yes, because the party's boycott came subsequent to the EC's announcement of a rerun. So all those things might have been done already. The announcement came just 2 days to the election.
But what's the significance of the party's flag being placed by you? Because there's a significance. It just doesn't happen. And
Unless, of course, you are saying that because the party boycotted, the EC should quickly reprint new ballot sheets and take out the party's.
Yeah, because if the party boycotted, she went, the party's flag was there, and the party did not. In fact, indeed, members of NEC, you mentioned Bawumia himself was there, Howard Kumsin was there, Brian was there. The party had polling agents, because the polling agents were not her agents. They were polling agents of the party.
I heard Dr. Shana was there as well.
Yeah, so the polling agents were they were the party's polling agents. They were the party's polling agents for all intents and purposes. She was not an independent candidate. She didn't contest the 19 polling states as an independent candidate. She was the candidate sponsored by the.
So what's your point? Your point is that.
My point is that
she contested on the ticket of the party.
So the party didn't boycott.
No, but how should the party boycott? The general secretary, who is the chief administrator of the party, announced that they were boycotting, and that should be enough. We don't know whether they followed it with a letter to the EC. We don't know, but that should be enough.
EC. Now the EC, I'm saying that the EC could not have printed the ballot boxes, papers, sorry, and placed the party's flag on it without the party's consent.
And perhaps the EC too should have been written to, because the EC may not have heard the general secretary say so.
You understand? Now the party then impliedly gave their consent with the presence of even members of NEC. Bawumia himself was there. Howard Kumsin was there. The deputy organizer, they were all there. So, as in, how can you say, for all intents and purposes, that the party boycotted this election? The party contested and lost.
Yes. And
to come and make that communication just reaffirms, I believe, that the NPP, beyond it being divided, is a party that has no soul now. They don't have a soul.
Haruna, clarify this for me. We understand Bawumia donated some amount of money to the lady, even after the party had said they were boycotting the event. Can you confirm that?
I cannot confirm that.
But did you hear that?
No, I did not hear.
You did not hear that some money was donated to the lady?
I saw things on Facebook and the social media, which I cannot confirm.
You cannot confirm,
because we have official communications.
Okay, but if Bawumia is going to donate to the lady, would the party be necessarily informed?
I don't know. I think the party was running. The party would have found an appropriate channel to have support for the elections. And like you said, many of them who defied the party order to go there were doing so for cameras because they want to.
So will you punish them? Because that's against the party's.
I cannot make conclusive statements.
But per your party rules, once that becomes an anti-party behavior, perhaps there should be sanctions that must
the
follow.
NEC will have to take a decision on that.
Okay, but did NEC need to take this decision, or how did the decision come about the boycott?
NEC met
on this.
And on this on Monday.
Was Dr. Bawumia in that NEC meeting?
Members of NEC were in that meeting.
Which includes Dr. Bawumia?
Yes, please.
I see.
Members of
so
NEC were in
should be concerned now that he was part of the meeting but went there to provide support.
Not only him, including all others that you have mentioned.
So the party is concerned about that?
Very concerned. And I think that
the senior members of NEC defied NEC's...
Even including the candidate. Lawyer is here. If the case that went to court was in the name of the candidate, right? We said that we are not participating in the election. The reason that we are not participating is that we have won the election. So we would not participate.
But you had won the election.
And look, she participated in the NEC meeting. She was invited to NEC. Everybody spoke. She spoke. We all.
So when you said you were boycotting, did she agree in the meeting?
Yes.
She agreed that she will not run?
Yes. Even on Tuesday, if you check the press conference, she was part of the panel. She was sitting in when the non-appearance decision of NEC was
So
made.
you were surprised that later she said she was going to run?
She did not tell us. We saw her running. And you see, we couldn't have written to the Electoral Commission to withdraw because election that we have completed, we cannot be withdrawing that. We
You
cannot
withdrew
be-
from the rerun.
Yes, we said we are not. We
Yeah,
are
so you
not
could have officially
participating.
told them that you were running.
Even the Electoral Commission did not write to us. They announced it out there.
But the Electoral Commission, we know how they pass information to
And that's-
political parties.
so
So they use their regular
They,
channels.
they did not send any letter to us.
I see.
Yes.
Honorable NEWSFLASH, you've seen elections, you're running elections and all of that. The NPP boycotted this. Were you surprised they boycotted it? And were you surprised at the turnout of the events? Not the violence part, which we'll come to later.
I was surprised that they boycotted.
You said they had won the election.
And I was surprised that they boycotted the elections, because if you had won the elections, you just go there to vindicate the fact that you have won.
But if they had won the election, why should they go and run again in an election they had won?
Because they went to court to ask for a recollation of the results.
So it should be recollation.
So they should have gone to court to ask for a declaration that Nana Efriekwe had won the election. That's what they should have done. And then, if the court had had compelled the EC by an order to declare Nana Efriekwe elected, then Obi would have only had the right to challenge the declaration. Okay, by electoral laws of this country. So that was why when the EC said, when NPP went to court and asked for a recollation of the about 10 or so polling stations, 7 or so polling stations that were outstanding, I said that they were setting a very dangerous precedent for this country. Because when you look at CI 147, there is nowhere that recollation appears.
CI 127.
Yes, there's nowhere.
You are mixing CI 47 and
No,
CI
147. I said 147. 127.
127, yes.
127. There's nowhere.
But-
Now, so the power to recollect results, I asked, where did it come from? But the NPP was the party that went to court and asked for that. Okay, so when the Electoral Commission started recollation, so the court granted them. The court granted them that power to do. So when they went to recollect the results, and depending on which narrative that you listen to, and they were 3 outstanding or 19 outstanding, how do the MPP want the Electoral Commission to resolve the matter? How do they want them to resolve the matter? Because now the Deputy General Secretary agrees and says that, 3 were outstanding. So that means the coalition of the results or recollation of the results in the Ablikman North constituency was incomplete. Okay, the Electoral Commission says 19, meaning were incomplete. So how did they want that thing to be resolved? Now, so you see, when you set yourself on a tangent that creates confusion, the end result is what you have. But you see, what has happened within the MPP, and particularly in the Ablekwa North constituency elections, reminds me of W.B. Yeats' The Second Coming, poem, The Second Coming.
Which you know, Achebe.
Yes, the falcon cannot bear the falconer. There's a total breakdown of control and direction within the MPP. Total. And as we speak, the General Secretary and NEC should be apologizing to MPP supporters in Ablekwa North. Because when you look at the figures, it means the figures will reveal that the stance of the NEC of MPP created confusion in Ablekwa North and robbed Nana Efriekwe of an election. It is MPP that robbed Nana Efriekwe of the election. They shouldn't put it on the Electoral Commission. Why? We were told that 5,600 electorates were to vote in the Ablekwa North constituency in the 19 police stations. Not so. The total results that came was 3,000 people voted. So more than 2,000 people did not vote.
Yeah.
We know that 19 polling stations have been producing and returning results for NPP.
Yeah.
We know that. We also know that at the end of the elections, Erebra Obin recorded 34,090. And then Nana Afriye recorded 33,881. The difference is 209. We know that in the elections, Nana Kuya got 1,300, just over 1,300 votes. Arabia Oben got about 1,600 votes. The difference is 300 votes. So the MPP in the collected results that was with the Electoral Commission was leading substantially. The people who did not come out, it stands to reason that most of them would have been MPP people. But the party had already communicated to them not to come out and vote. That's what the party did. And now you are blaming the Electoral Commission.
They said they had won the election already.
Yes, so if you have won the election,
so we have the results on your.
Yeah, so if you have won the election, and you know that by the nature of the constituency, you stand to win the constituency if you crank your organizational machinery in place and just vindicate what you have long held to be the case. He said, no, you shouldn't come out and vote. The National Executive Committee directed their supporters in their Blackburn North constituency, particularly in 90 polling stations, not to come out and vote.
So notwithstanding the fact that key party functionaries were in the constituency, tried to whip up, enthusiasm, etc., notwithstanding that, you're saying that the party's call, they listened to the party's call not to come out to vote.
When you sow the seeds of confusion, what do you have? Apathy.
I see.
Because people would have been looking to see a united, organized, structured, purposeful party. Not a party in disarray like we witnessed in the just ended elections.
I see.
That everybody was towing a line that he wanted. That people who appeared at a Blackburn North, and you are a lawyer, appeared on their own. They were on a frolic
of their
own. They had no cover or protection whatsoever. I'm just surprised that Howard Kumson exposed herself to that. Because your party had told you not to go there. Your party had told you not to go there, and you went there. So if something had happened to you, the party will not defend you.
But that's on the party side. So now we're dovetailing into that's on the party side.
So let me come back. First of all, let me say that Chris Akume, I'm talking about the unintended consequences of an early declaration.
Okay, in respect of this text.
Unintended consequences, underlined, unintended consequences. He would have intended very well, but the unintended consequences is what we're seeing.
Okay.
Now, so number two, I'm incredibly proud of my party, the NDC. When I also West Wagon brutalities occurred, we took a decision not to participate. That stopped further brutalities. And our members did not participate. They simply just went away. Okay, so you wouldn't see a failure to obey even that principled defiance that Apia Donko is talking about, did not come to us. Our candidate simply retired, and our people went home because we were shocked at the level of brutalities. And so we said, no, we don't need to expose our people to further brutalities. Number three, my brother Haruna should not be talking as if brutalities don't occur in NPP. I mean, my brother, the flag bearer of the movement for change left NPP precisely because of the level of brutalities meted against his supporters. Precisely because of that. Precisely because of that. In the his agent.
That was not his supporter.
That was his agent. That was his agent.
And the party didn't make any statement.
A statement.
It was agent Awanwale.
Agent. And then what did he do? He simply asked that somebody who was otherwise too close to the voting center ought not to be there.
Yeah.
Even
the showdown.
Yes.
Why they can't say showdown?
Yeah. So you see, don't create a picture. And we all condemn it. I have taken part. Let me tell you my personal story. In 2008, Zobile, you know Zobile, it's predominantly MPP. I went there to supervise elections. I saw youth, the children under 18 voting. I complained. Why was I complaining? Not because they were voting, because I don't know who they were voting for. But I said that what they were allowing at that polling station was already exposing that children to wrongdoing and to become part of their culture because they see nothing wrong with engaging in that activity. I was slapped. I was slapped by an MPP agent. He turned out to be my distant relative from Johanne, but he slapped me.
Wow.
So I'm the last person. I'll be the last person to endorse violence because I've experienced it myself. I was slapped for just saying that we were exposing our children to moral corruption, and I was slapped. So I'll be the last person. Let's all agree that there is a regime, a fundamental regime and consensus that we have all accepted that should regulate elections. That if you have that, it's not for nothing that elections are conducted by law. And that if you have nothing doing at the polling station, you have to maintain a certain distance away from the voting center. It's not for nothing. I'm not surprised at the level of violence in Ablekuma because the security experts will tell you that when you congregate a lot of people to a particular spot, the parameters for operation become limited, and so there will be conflicts. There will be conflicts. And so when they said 19, I knew that there would be problem. I knew there would be problem. Even one constituency, he cited Atiwa, he cited because the elections were limited to one.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there. Okay? So when you congregate people in one area, there's a less likelihood of violence. And so the security agencies are also aware of this and so must put in place mechanisms to mitigate.
You think the police failed on the day?
I think that the police, what happened was that they were conflicted.
How?
You see, you are there to ensure that voting goes on smoothly. And the people who are otherwise entitled to vote participate in the voting. And then you have a group of busybodies who are disrupting the process. What do? Do you leave your detailed work, the work that you have been detailed to do, to attend to these people, busybodies, who are not electorates, who will not take part in the election, but who are causing confusion? What do? I think they were conflicted, and they should find a way to remove themselves from that conflict. They were seriously conflicted. Because those people who we saw running around were not voters. They were not voters. They were not taking part in the election.
They came in groups.
In groups.
And so when you see them coming, you know these guys are up to something.
Yeah.
And they just went through the police people like that and started chasing a target.
Yes.
And
then you saw that they were not even interested in what was happening at the voting center. They were not interested. They were just interested in persons. So clearly, if I'm detailed to ensure that there's voting going on and a group of hoodlums or people attack the station or attack each other close to the station, what do? Do I abandon my post and go and have that thing brought under control, what do I do? Really, what do I do?
But in their professional sense, they should know what to do.
I don't know. I'm not a professional police, but I'm just saying that looking at what happened, I see conflict. I see conflict, seriously. And all of us expected, and because it's a general duty of police to protect life and property.
It's just like saying that the police has been detailed to protect a house, and somebody is passing and killing another person he meets on the road. The police will say, I'm conflicted because I've been asked to protect the house. But the thing happening on the street is not part, so I'm just there.
I'm telling you, when they are sitting down by the banks and watching, and people are fighting close by, it might be difficult to see the policeman abandon that bank and go and try to restore calm. That voting is a civil activity. It's a right exercisable by Ghanaians of age. And so we don't need the military. We have come a very long way in our democratic journey. And so what the police should do is to stand their ground and ensure that the proper things are done at the polling station. And we have made a lot of progress. When we started this journey in 1992, people could easily access the voting centers. But inner perimeter developed. Now, unless you are really a participant in the elections, you cannot access the inner perimeter. The police, the military were coming close to the polling stations. Now we know that they cannot, even if they are detailed to supervise, they have to be patrolling and only invited by the police. The duty to man elections in Ghana and provide security is vested in the police, and so now we hold them responsible if there are lapses. Going forward, all of us need to understand that you don't win election by might. You win election by the tongue, and that we should encourage our people to come out and vote. And when they are coming out to vote, they must be fearless, and they must be bold to come out and exercise their vote. I know that when disturbances occur at polling stations, it might scare some people away. Some people don't know or didn't who wants them on today, and so let's limit that. I totally understand that when you get the people together at one particular location, the risk of disturbances becomes